from India. I lead Kearney's India business. We call it Kearney now, just easier name to use. So I lead the India business and spend a lot of time driving real business transformation. We serve both in enterprises and government, and of late, a lot of our work revolves around technology and AI interlinked with business choices to make. So fantastic, glad to be here. Let me.
Sure, maybe I'll kick off. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gaurav Bhushan. I am the chairman of the Accor hospitality business in India. I'm also the CEO of a company called Ennismore, which is a lifestyle platform for the Accor hotel group. Been in the hospitality business most of my life, just building businesses, building brands, a lot of investments in the real estate and finance field, but focus on the hospitality sector.
Working? Okay. Good morning! Woohoo! Thank you, Studi. Thank you, Kyle, for putting this together and including me. My name is Wendy Diamond. I'm the founder of LDP Ventures. We're a family office, and we invest in funds and startups and companies, etc., in every asset class. Super been in disruptive technologies personally since 2014 after learning about Bitcoin by a goat farmer in Botswana. That led me into AI in 2015. So we've been really invested in a lot of funds and startups that are making super impact. I'm sure we'll talk about it. And then more importantly, I have a foundation that I started in 2013 when I learned 388 million women and girls were living in poverty. 1 out of 8 women in America live in poverty, and so I knew by giving a hand up and teaching entrepreneurship would be the way to change the world. So I created a foundation called Women's Entrepreneurship Day Organization, and we're in 100 countries and recognized by U.S. Congress, the Gay Qatar President of Mexico, and we bring governments, business leaders, civil society, and entrepreneurs together to change the world and start their entrepreneurial journeys. Thank you so much.
Super. Good morning. My name is Sheetal Chawla. I lead the Life Sciences and Healthcare Division for Capgemini Consulting. We're a French consulting company making global impact. I also am on the executive committee of Capgemini in the Americas, live in Manhattan, also the executive sponsor for our Women at Capgemini group. So this is a passion area of mine. Really looking forward to exchanging some ideas. Spirited dialogue is the theme, right, today, and looking forward to networking with everyone afterwards.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dodi, for inviting me. I am Anupam Agarwal. I am a physician scientist, trained as a cardiologist, working for 20 years in biotech and pharmaceutical industry. Lately, I started my own advisory firm. So currently, I advise CEOs, board, and investors at the inflection point. Their safety of regulatory issues can devalue the whole enterprise. So I help them to anticipate safety and regulatory risk and how to manage them. I am also a current president of Harvard.
It's quite ironic that we are discussing, AI and technology is what led me to a wrong place a few minutes back. I was blindly following my Google Maps, and it took me to a totally wrong place, only to realize that I am off. So it just emphasizes the human judgment element always, and which is what we'll discuss today. I think that was, all of you have seen is all over, people are talking about AI and various facets to it, and I am hoping to break through the clutter and discuss some real life applications and a balanced view to it, and I have been blessed with a fantastic panel, very diverse group. Let me maybe start off with a quick round of introduction and then ask my esteemed panelists to quickly introduce as well. So my name is Jain. I am from India. I lead Kearney's or India business. We call it Kearney now, just easier name to use. So I lead the India business and spend a lot of time driving real business transformation We serve both in enterprises and government, and of late, a lot of our work revolves around technology and AI interlinked with business choices to make. So fantastic, glad to be here. Let me quickly go around and ask the panelists to do a quick round of introduction.
Sure, maybe I'll kick off. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gaurav Bhushan. I am the chairman of the Accor hospitality business in India. I'm also the CEO of a company called Ennismore, which is a lifestyle platform for the Accor Hotel Group. Been in the hospitality business most of my life, just building businesses, building brands, a lot of investments in the real estate and finance field, but focused on the hospitality sector.
Is this working? Okay. Good morning. Woohoo! Thank you, Studi. Thank you, Payal, for putting this together and including me. My name is Wendy Diamond. I'm the founder of LDP Ventures. We're a family office, and we invest in funds and startups and companies, etc., in every asset class. Super been in disruptive technologies personally since 2014 after learning about Bitcoin by a goat farmer in Botswana that led me into AI in 2015. So we've been really invested in a lot of funds and startups that are making super impact. I'm sure we'll talk about it. And then more importantly, I have a foundation that I started in 2013 when I learned 388 million women and girls were living in poverty. 1 out of 8 women in America live in poverty, and so I knew by giving a hand up and teaching entrepreneurship would be the gateway to change the world. So I created a foundation called Women's Entrepreneurship Day Organization, and we're in 100 countries and recognized by US Congress, the King Qatar, President of Mexico, and we bring governments, business leaders, civil society, and entrepreneurs together to change the world and start their entrepreneurial journeys. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Super. Good morning. My name is Sheetal Chawla. I lead the Life Sciences and Healthcare Division for Capgemini Consulting. We're a French consulting company making global impact. I also am on the executive committee of Capgemini in the Americas, live in Manhattan, also the executive sponsor for our Women at Capgemini group. So this is a passion area of mine. Really looking forward to exchanging some ideas. Spirited dialogue is the theme, right, today, and looking forward to networking with everyone afterwards.
So, thank you very much, Stuti, for inviting me. I am Anupam Agarwal. I am a physician scientist, trained as a cardiologist, working for 20 years in biotech and pharmaceutical industry. Lately, I started my own advisory firm. So currently, I advise CEOs, board, and investor at the inflection point where safety or regulatory issues can devalue the whole enterprise. So I help them to anticipate safety and regulatory risk and how to manage them. I am also the current president of Harvard Club of San Francisco.
Amazing, as you see, a very diverse group. What's clear is that AI and technology is clearly changing the way we create value, whether it's in corporate organizations or society at large. What's probably still being debated is what's the right balance and how do we manage the growth and value creation along with risks and governance around this. So we'll delve into that theme, and broadly I would love to start with a higher level conversation, and then given a few diverse sectors, we'll maybe even delve into a few sectoral aspects which are quite unique. I'll start off with you, Gaurav, just to put you on the hot spot. And the question for you is, as brands, and you're leading some fabulous brands, as brands scale, how do you use AI and technology to add true consumer value and create a real differentiation from a customer lens?
Sure. I think, we're obviously everyone's focused and talking about AI, but I think in in my view, you've got to first take a step back because everyone wants to implement AI. But you've got to start with what business you're in, right? And we are in the hospitality business. We are in the people's business. We are not a tech company. We will never be a tech company. We want to use technology and AI as an enabler. So our fundamental objective in using technology is to deepen the human connection. Because we're in the business of connecting people and creating experiences. So the number one focus for us is how can we use new technology, particularly AI, to have a better customer relationship management, better profile, get to know our customers better, recognize them better, create better experiences. It has to enable a human connection. That is the essence of what we focus on. That's exactly the mandate that we have and I have to our teams when they start looking at how to implement AI. The other element is to improve business processes, and everyone is doing that, and we're no different like any other business. As you scale, you've got to implement operating efficiencies, but it is not a differentiator. The differentiator is how effectively you can use technology to create a better human connection. That is the fundamental focus of what we are about.
So the human touch is here to stay.
More important than ever. And I think as we get more and more automated in everything we do, we will crave the human connection more and more and more. So I think, our business is set for some profound changes as technology takes over our lives in many different shapes and forms. We are going in the opposite direction. We are totally focused on creating the human connection. That's what everyone craves.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great segue. If this is here to stay, and Sheetal, if you're driving for your clients the tech transformations, and if the human aspect is an integral part, I would imagine that the culture in the organizations plays an important role, and culture needs to evolve to embrace technology while not losing the human touch. So maybe share from your experience as you drive the transformation, what are the challenges you're seeing and what are the top things that organizations need to keep in mind?
Yeah, as a leader in the consulting industry, our industry wouldn't exist if culture wasn't present, right? Otherwise we could copy paste the same solution for Marriott to Accor to every other hospitality group. So culture is absolutely important and at the heart of every organization. As I was reflecting on the topic of this panel, was thinking about, I've spoken a lot about Industry 4.0, being the life sciences leader at Capgemini, but thinking about what is Impact 4.0 and what is the difference between Industry 4.0 and Impact 4.0. To me, Industry 4.0 is about building capabilities. Impact 4.0 is about the consequence of those capabilities, right? So how many in the room have been sick in the last 6 weeks? That's it. This is a very healthy group.
Yes.
Maybe I should widen my time horizon. Last quarter, people have been sick. Okay. Maybe we don't want to share that we've been sick because we don't want to be contagious, right? In these times. But what's interesting, right, is when you're sick, are you thinking about, and I'm interested to hear your perspective on this as a physician. Are you thinking about Regeneron, Pfizer, Moderna, Dr. Reddy, BMS, company XYZ? Do they have the capability to make me feel better? No, you're not thinking about that when you're under the covers and not feeling well. You're thinking about how will this medicine make me feel better? You're thinking about the consequence of the medicine, not the capability that company has. So I think, again, going back to the point you're making, thinking about the end consumer, thinking about the human aspect of why we do what we do is super important. And that's why I was really excited to be part of this Impact 4.0, because I think with AI and technology, we've sometimes dehumanized the conversation to tools and POCs and what value are we getting, or can we do something faster, better, cheaper. It's not about that. That will come, but it's about the impact and the outcomes that AI will create. And I think those are the important conversations to have, aligned with what you led with, culture.
Yeah.
And put those together, and then AI will support that. You don't lead with an AI POC.
Absolutely. There seems to be emerging consensus, at least on that, thankfully. And you were looking at Dr. Anupam, in high stakes industry like life sciences, you know, the biggest worry, of course, is of risks. What if technology goes wrong? And you know, you're dealing with human lives after all. So how do you see that play out? What kind of governance and risk management is needed, especially in sectors like life sciences, to deal with, to still benefit from the technology but have risks under check?
So, specifically in biotech or life sciences, I think AI will be a supporting tool. It will never replace human beings. So it will help us to make better decision faster. That's what I think. And if I specifically describe where in the biotech it will help, so one of the AI capability is to finding pattern in the complex data. And in biotech industry, you know, we collect lot of data for efficacy of the drug or the side effect of the drugs, or during the post-marketing, when the drug is marketed, we collect what we call real life data in the patient. So to analyze that data and detect the pattern, AI will be very useful tool in that. And there is another area in drug development. It is always a trade-off between safety and efficacy, because there is no drug in the world which is efficacious and will not have side effect. So to better delineate this trade-off between safety and efficacy, it depends on the indication for which you are developing a drug, because if the drug is for a rare disease and there is no drug in the market, then the regulatory agencies, they will look more leniently towards any side effect of that drug. So there are many aspects in the clinical development where I believe AI will be a very useful and I think tool. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sure we can talk a lot on that. We'll maybe on the sides pick this up. But one topic, maybe I look at you, which I've at least not heard enough discussion around, is the topic of inclusion when it comes to technology and AI. There is a school of thought that as more and more development on the tech front happens, the larger organizations, the bigger corporates, the bigger houses would have an even bigger advantage. How do we make sure that this is widespread to all sections of the society, to the smaller entrepreneurs? And you, as you said, you were, investing in these, startups and smaller organizations. In India, there are a lot of women-led entrepreneurs, organization. How do you ensure that they truly also benefit and actually grow faster in the future?
Absolutely. First, I want to say, I think AI and the health industry, it's the greatest gift. A couple of the companies that we're in, one is called MyIDA. It's basically, they have all the mental health data from Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, Harvard. And what they've done is they've gotten it's 2 billion, I think, data points. And so now, like in the US right now, there's not regulations, so they can't go direct to people, right? But most people can't afford to go to a therapist, right? Most people don't want to divulge their inner secrets, to someone they don't know when they're in therapy, right? Also, it's just, some people live in, places where they can't even have a therapist, or their insurance company doesn't cover it. And so my idea, what they did is they created, so now like when a therapist, they have to do it this way now because it's not regulated, but when a therapist puts on my ida and the thing, they listen to everything, and then after, they give the therapist all the data from all the 2 billion data points. So not just what the therapist has studied or what they've learned outside of education. They're getting all the studies from all these data points from all the universities and medical research, right? So it's enabling people to have such a better outlook on, mental health, which I believe, and everybody to have access to mental health. And so they're working with a lot of governments in Africa right now to be able to bring this to their communities. And another one is, I'm very big in dogs. I love dogs. Woo! And 1 out of 3 dogs get cancer in their lifetime. Yes. And so one of the companies that we invested in is called One Health, and their first vertical is called PhytoCure. They have 9 billion data points. And literally they're able to figure out what the, what is the cancer and the treatment, extending dogs' lives by 4 times. They just raised $80 million, and they just got approval for human trials. So what's happening right now in health is one of the greatest gifts for everybody. And I think that we really need to just see the impact that AI is having. And then that'll go to my other thing. So being someone who's super high EQ, low IQ, it is the greatest gift for us EQ people. Because EQ is what everyone needs to learn. And I think when schools have to bring back EQ and show people that you need to understand people and be able to communicate to people. Because AI makes the EQ people just as smart as the IQ people. And so my point of this is, I have a foundation, super we're really going down, like in Afghanistan right now. We have 2,100 girls going through our AI program. We made it super easy, non-intimidating, and we literally got the most successful AI experts in the world, including Igor, who created Alexa and Siri and sold it to Amazon. These are our teachers, and we put it in, and we partnered with 11 Labs. I don't know if anybody knows 11 Labs, but it's your same voice, everything, and they translate it into every language for us. So now we're going out, we just launched in Haiti this week, and so it's an opportunity for anyone who has any organizations or wants to bring it to their communities. We've paid for it all, it's free, and and they graduate by actually learning. So whether they have internet full-time, because a lot of people they don't have internet in Haiti and etc., they can actually go through it on their phones and then come back to it if they lose their internet, right? But they have to download the free tools we give them, and we teach them. They have to use it, do assignments, and then they graduate. So they actually learn. And that's like the key, because I think most people, even today in America, like normal people, they're intimidated. Like, I don't know what it is, right? And I would have been like that too if I didn't go through, my career. So anyways, thank you. That's it.
That's an amazing story.
Sorry.
That's amazing.
So I think this panel, you said we can be provocative. So Wendy, I am looking for a day where people like me who have low EQ will be helped by AI. And for example, because whole my life, if I am talking to you, I am focused only on you. I cannot see peripherally what on the left side is going on. So I am looking for those days where with the help of AI, I will get all those cues and improve my EQ.
I don't think it's the AI that's going to help you. It's places like this that are going to help you. And it's like, being out and speaking to people, right? And being able, and listening, right? Because everybody's interesting. Everybody's an expert at something that can teach you something, right? So don't be like what I've learned in this world, it's all about me, and I hate that. It should be about we and how we can make a difference.
I guess that was helpful for you, Dr. Just,
we have 8 minutes.
yes, absolutely. I know it went in a slightly different direction, but just getting back, I still want a little bit of a debate around as at the boards and the management, for example, when you're part of the leadership. And as a consultant, when I go and discuss, there is always the trade-off between, hey, let me pick up some area and get some value out of that area versus saying, should I think of in whole of enterprise reimagination? I have a bias, and as a consultant, we always go and say, to get real value, you have to reimagine your entire business and not just look at it as a use case and say, let me go and implement a technology here. So is that discussion happening, and where's the thought?
It is happening, it's very much happening, and I think each enterprise looks at it differently, and it comes down to the culture of an organization and the business that you're in. That will drive your decision making, whether it's at board level or management level. In my organization, again, being a people's business and a very operational business, we're outcome driven. We have to be outcome driven, and our outcomes are all about how we make people feel. So our strategy is driven by one very simple philosophy: follow the customer, focus on the customer. What does the customer want? You start with that, because if you can win that battle, the rest is the easy part. The operational efficiencies, the scaling, the financials, that's the easy bit. Everyone knows how to do that. That's not a point of difference. But if you can use technology as an enabler to fundamentally change your relationship with people, that to me takes us miles ahead of the competition, where we want to be. Because as we scale up, and we're dealing with, 500,000 customers a year, going to 1 million customers a year in the next 2 years. You can't remember all their names, but if you can train your teams to make sure that they have all the info and all the profiles, where they stayed the last time, what food they liked, what was the favorite cocktail they had, how they liked their bed made at night, those touches, those little touches, that's what people pay for. They don't pay for the marble, the chandeliers, and the fancy amenities. That's part of the experience. But if you can go the extra step and make them feel special and personal, and I think technology has to play that role, not only in our industry, but in a lot of other industries. You have to make people feel better with technology, not worse. Because if people are threatened and they don't feel the technology, it'll never multiply.
Yeah, so I guess you're saying don't miss the big picture of what's.
You have to start with the big picture.
Absolutely. And just to close the sectoral conversation, and I'll have one last question for all of you. But maybe Sheetal, you have some thoughts on. I'm still worried about the risks. If not governed in the right way, can AI go wrong, and there be unintended consequences. So in the transformations, how do you put the guardrails and governance in the organization so that we call it the human in the loop design, but I'm sure you guys do a lot of that as well.
We do. From my perspective, it is governance is important. Let me lead by saying that. That being said, I think sometimes it's a bit of a smoke screen when people say, AI can go wrong in so many different ways. I think rather than thinking about all of the ways that it can go wrong, I think we need to change organizational thinking to trust. Trust in the organization's ability to build something. Trust in an organization's ability to fail and recover from that failure. And I say this with the life sciences hat, where failure can equal death, right? There is no larger failure than that. So obviously, I led by saying governance is important, and I know you're working on risk mitigation. But I think fundamentally we need to trust people. We need to trust the people that work on the technology. We need to trust people and empower them to fail. And that's how we collectively get better, and that's ultimately how we cure more diseases, and we put medicines in the hands of patients who are currently not looking for a third, fourth, fifth medicine for I don't know, curing a bacterial disease, but they're looking for a completely untreated rare disease that affects so few people that it's not making the radar of many pharmaceutical companies, right? To me, trust is kind of the topic that we need to focus on in conjunction with governance and technology. One interesting kind of data point from the Capgemini research report that just came out is that technology is moving obviously much faster than trust and confidence are moving. So I think that's an interesting boardroom conversation, right? Technology can do a lot more than people are willing to, people are willing to trust it. So I think that's going to be kind of a key topic over the next 12 to 24 months.
Absolutely. And talking about next 12 months, maybe last 30 seconds, what's the top priority for the year as you look at this space, for your community and the startups that you're investing in? Where do you want them to, if there's one thing to focus on, what would that be?
One thing to focus on is that I believe that everyone can make a difference and everyone can help, but you just got to make it really easy for them. So one of the companies we're in is called Dollar Donation Club. You can donate $1 to the most impactful projects in the world. We just partnered with Selena Gomez to raise $100 million for mental health with their $500 million, and they're using AI as well to basically track everything. And so one of the things that we believe is just making sure that everyone can be part of the future.
Amazing. I know we've run out of time in the next panels here as well, but maybe I'll just quickly wrap. Yeah. Yes, please.
I have a question to the panel, because I heard when you're sick, you're laying in your bed and you think about, how can this medicine help me? But don't we have to go a step back? Because our health is our wealth. But health is not a goal to reach. It's a lifestyle. And I heard it. The lifestyle is important. When we want to make impact, it's our health that has to stay good. So we have to take care more ourselves, our bodies, before we start using. Of course, we always need to heal when something happens. But I think we think too easy that the medicine will help me. I wasn't sick for at least 2 years, because at that time I decided to really take care of my body, to do the healthy things, the healthy habits, and stick to it. And I think AI can help a lot to keep people stick to healthy habits.
Yeah, if I may, obviously is super passionate about this topic. I think you're absolutely right from a macro industry trend, and multiple industries are thinking about wellness versus sickness. Even the bio, pharma companies and the med tech companies are thinking about wellness much more. And another topic is women's health versus health. Is another subsegment that is really, there's a lot of energy and investment in, and Wendy, I'm sure you're seeing that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think there's a call for wrapping up quickly, so maybe very
Just
quick.
one last.
Just to say, couldn't agree more. In our industry, wellness is probably the most important theme and the unmistakable trend. Our business is absolutely moving towards that. And people come and stay with us. Our first job and our first mission is to help them adapt their lifestyle. And people are looking for different things. Wellness means different things to different people, and you've got to understand that spectrum in order to influence people's habits. But it's probably the most important trend for this decade in our business for sure.
Super. On that note, just to wrap up, it's been an exciting conversation. I'm glad that it's people at the center of the conversation, and we are talking about the real impact of technology holistically, and hopefully all of you in your enterprises and in your fields take that back and make sure that AI and technology leads to a better world.
Very good. Thank you.